Hey guys, so Jazwares has acquired the master toy license of Five Nights at Freddy's from Funko, and if you can't tell, this is kind of a big deal for a channel like mine. Now, to explain this, I'm basically just going to be explaining what this means for FNAF merch as a whole, and just kind of like going over everything and my thoughts on stuff, so let's get into it. So first of all, I think it's important to mention that Funko has not lost the FNAF license. They still have the license and rights to make FNAF merch, they just need to go through a lot more approvals, and they don't have the exclusive rights to things like action figures and anything anymore. Now, I think it's unlikely we could get more Funko action figures. I think it might be able to happen by the end of this year, but I definitely think going into 2025 we won't see anything action figures or maybe plushies from Funko, but definitely no action figures. I think Funko's probably just going to do pops and mystery minis going forward, assuming they keep the license after Jazwares acquires the mastered license. So to all you Funko FNAF fans, they're not completely gone, they're just probably going to be making a lot less merch, which they already have been. They haven't released barely anything this year, so the signs have been there that they lost the master license, we just have confirmation now. It was previously leaked that action figures and plushies for Ruin were coming out, as well as a bunch of FNAF movie products, but those are likely going to have to be held back or might just be cancelled as a whole because of this whole thing complicating stuff. Which I hope they're not, because I'd like to see Funko's last two waves make it to market, but it's kinda not looking good, especially with how rocky the release of the new Funko Snaps were, them still not really being out. But Jazwares, what are they gonna be making? Well, if you don't know who Jazwares is, they are a pretty prominent company in the overall toy industry. They're very, very popular for their Squishmallows, that's a very notable thing that they've made. But you also probably know them from they make most of the Fortnite toys. They're the primary toy manufacturer for Minecraft and Roblox. They did Sonic back in the day. If you know anything about their Sonic line, you'd know that Jazwares is very good at listening to fans about what they want. Well, not as good as Jakks Pacific, for example. They were still the best Sonic toy line before then, and that's nothing to scoff at. Now, my main concern with the FNAF stuff mainly comes from articulation, because Jazwares has a tendency to give figures way too many joints to the point where it looks really ugly, or just low quality joints in general, mainly on their smaller figures, like their smaller Sonic figures and their Fortnite figures, but I think their larger Fortnite figures are a bit better, and also like the Halo stuff. But the joints in those little Jazwares figures are just not good, so I really hope this isn't a problem for the FNAF line. I assume the FNAF line would be more in line with their Halo stuff, and if that's anything to go by, we should be getting some of the best FNAF figures we've gotten thus far, which is very exciting. And the manager for the FNAF toy line has gone on record saying that they are a big FNAF fan and have been for a long time, and they're willing to listen to what fans want for this stuff, which is very exciting. Because if we know anything about Funko, they do literally anything but what people ask for. Like, there's times where I think Funko is literally going out of their way to do things that people didn't ask for, but you know, that's for another video, which is coming soon, by the way. I have a video all about Funko's line coming after this, so stay tuned. But yeah, it's gonna be nice to finally have a toy partner who actually listens that isn't U2's. I like U2's a lot, I think they do a very good job at listening to feedback, but I also just kinda wish we had more standard action figures that were also had the same treatment. I absolutely like U2's better than Funko Pops, but I also like action figures a lot, and U2's sadly doesn't make those. As for what I think we should be expecting, I honestly have absolutely no clue in terms of plushies. We could probably expect some FNAF Squishmallows at the very least. But for action figures, I think we should absolutely expect the first wave to be pretty similar to Funko's first wave, with Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and Springtrap. Those are the standard characters that basically every FNAF toy line has to have, so I'd be very surprised if that wasn't the first set. And then after that, I think they'll probably go for the Security Breach cast with Glamrock Freddy, Glamrock Chica, Monty, Roxy, Vanny. I don't know, maybe throw in like a Glamrock Endo or Burn Trap or some oddball character. They could do the daycare attendant, actually, that'd make more sense. But I just think the FNAF 1 crew plus Springtrap and the Security Breach crew just make the most sense for the first two waves, since in modern FNAF media, those are definitely the most prominent. And then after that, it's free reign. They're probably just going to dedicate each wave to a different set of animatronics, from what I think they're probably going to do if they're going to listen to fans. Because obviously people are going to want the toy animatronics and the Wizards, and, you know, FNAF 2 movie's coming out next year, so toy animatronics and Wizards are definitely going to be coming around that time, if that's anything to go off of. So yay, we can finally shut up about Withered figures, because they're probably actually going to happen now that we don't have Funko. There's also a pretty good chance Jazwares would tap into trying out some human FNAF characters. At the very least, we could get a movie Yellow Rabbit with a William Afton head, but yeah. I can definitely see a Vanessa or a Gregory getting made. I have a feeling the Jazwares line will be a lot more catered to the older FNAF fans rather than the younger ones. Because I know one of the biggest complaints about the Funko line was that it was very, very catered to the younger FNAF demographic, which is really stupid because if you just cater to the older demographic, the younger demographic would also like it, so then you're making everybody happy. But since you're catering to one very specific audience, you're just kind of leaving everybody else in the dark, which is probably a big issue with how Funko handles things. And I don't think Jazwares is going to do the same thing. Now, there's obviously not much else I could say besides hope it goes well, because there's not really anything else we know. I mean, there are play sets and pet toys that we're supposed to be getting, which is, that's peculiar. But overall, I'm very, very excited to see where this goes, because it's been a long while since we've had any other company tackle FNAF merch, at least any new companies. So this is a nice breath of fresh air, or at least I hope it's gonna be. Hopefully they don't take too many notes from Funko. Also, if any Jazwares employees are watching this, can you please put in a suggestion to make Kimiko from Fortnite? Okay, thank you. Thinking about what kind of playsets they can make, I'm thinking probably the FNAF 1 security office is a pretty obvious one that they could do. But I think some cool large playset to display figures on, like a bunch of figures at once, would be cool. I think the show stage is a no-brainer, but also I think the lobby from Security Breach could also be a pretty cool display piece. For pet toys, I really want them to make a plush baby that's like a dog toy, because I really want to feed plush baby to my dog. Do you want to eat a plush baby? Do you want to eat it? Would you enjoy that? You don't know what that is. No. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a quick video talking about this because people kept asking me, and I figured I should because, you know, my channel is very heavily merch oriented, and this is going to be a big change, so yeah, we'll see how this pans out. We'll see how this whole merch deal goes, and, yeah.